And a warm welcome back to Boat Extras, and I'm pretty convinced it's 37 as an episode. It is pretty hot today, which is very nice. The door's wide open so all those horseflies can come in and eat me alive, especially when I've got nothing around this area now. As it's got to summer, I thought I'd have a bit of a trimmage. Hope you don't mind, because you get to see more of this. It's just what you wanted, isn't it? Anyway, enough of the trimmage. We've got to fathom out what we're going to do. And I don't know. I think I probably will have to go up there, and I think we'll probably have to finish off some of that wiring, I think. And we need to test it as well to make sure that the umming and ahhing I did in the last episode is going to work. So that's what I think I might do. Who knows how long this one's going to last, but hey, it's the way it is. So I hope you lot are enjoying this weather on your boats. Gordon, I'm assuming you'll be doing that roof of yours, and I quite like the idea. I've not seen them, but those mushrooms and those things that I text you back with the ceiling, I thought that was a very good idea, and I like it, and I wish would have done it myself, instead doing those rings. But hey, that's what we like about my subscribers. I like to know what they're doing as well. Ian, I'm assuming you're on the water as well. You've got everything done in your boat. I'm pretty jealous, to be perfectly honest. I bet you're cruising up and down there proper style now, aren't you? Well, at some point I'm hoping that this one day will be on the water, but who knows? You probably don't want it on the water, because you've been 10 years of familiarising yourself with me and this. It's probably something that you watch. I'm not bigging myself up here, but I've become a routine in your lives. And what's going to happen when it's all done? That's the question. We can move on and we can sail off into the distance. Question is, where do we sail off into the distance? But anyway, that will have to wait, because we've got to get it. Well, we need an engine. That's not going to be too far away. That thing has got to be checked over and stuck back in that boat, because at some point we're going to have to put it in. And we're going to have to do something with that centre console, which I think isn't that far down the line now. I think I need to get the wiring done. The sink needs to be plumbed in, because I didn't plumb it in. You just saw it finished, well, in position. And that needs to be plumbed in, and it needs to be tested. And that's it really. So I'll go up there, scratch my head, and figure out what I'm going to do next. So you stay tuned, and I'll see you very shortly. Right, welcome aboard. The radio is on, and I'm hoping I can talk over it and not cause an issue, because I will be pretty livid. I could just hear some brakes, so no doubt really pulling up. It looks like, yes, I definitely need to do some wiring. We've got the water pump that I think we can now start to wire up. I'm definitely going to continue doing this lot here, and I'm going to put a 30 amp fuse here, so then it protects all these. Yes, these are all leading to possibly 5 amp fuses here, but do you know what? Belt and braces, that's what we want. Want to make sure nothing starts exploding and blowing. I know it's only a 12 volt system, but I'd rather be over cautious than under cautious, because as I've always preached to you, this is my weakest subject, and it's something that I want to make sure is pretty safe. So that is what I'm going to do. I'm also going to connect this up for the heater. I've decided that that's going to live somewhere around there, so I think that would look okay. So I need to measure the depth of the actual top, kitchen top, and put a mark. I should have done that. In fact, I'll put it back, make a mark, and then I'll know exactly where that can go. So those are my few jobs that I can do to start with. Boring as they may be, but they've got to be done. So, speak to you very shortly. Right, little update up to now. So we've got all those wired up. That is now connected to that, which is important because that makes that all good. And more importantly too, we got that and that together, so that now links all that up. So as far as I'm concerned, that is all done. This is the next bit. As you can tell, I've just masked out a line where it's going, so I'm hoping that, I'm going to keep that under there, but I'm going to disconnect. I'm going to disconnect that, take it off, because I've got a plan, because that's going to be showing, so I don't want it to show. So I've got a little theory that I might be able to make it look better without gouging out anything. So that's going to be next. At the back of here, as you can see, this is now connected up. I decided I'm going to put a 30 amp there because all those, according to the instructions, if they were all switched on, which they won't be, but it would draw, it needs to be covered by a 30 amp. So we are covered with a 30 amp. All these are covered with individual fuses. So I'm double careful with it, and I think it will work, but we'll soon find out when we try it. I've got rubber soles on, so you know what little air I've got won't be an afro with a bit of luck. So that's now going into an existing hole there, which is good. So we're whittling them down. That's the horn, if anybody's wondering why that's dangling doing nothing. That's going to be connected somewhere around there. I have got also a switch there, which I think I'm going to use. Well, I don't know whether it's one of these switches where I can use for the toilet, where I click it and it stays on and then you click it to go off. I'm not so sure about that, but I'm going to test it on this pump here, because I'm going to put a switch sort of here, so then we can switch the pump on from underneath here rather than anywhere else, and that would be good to go. And then when you leave, you can obviously switch it off. I'm assuming that that's what that is, but I won't know until I wire it up. These are the toilet ones, and I'm completely baffled and forgotten. I need to look at the instructions to see. I know obviously that is alive there, and that's the earth, but that and that, I know one will be another earth or a ground, I'm not so sure, and one will be alive. So maybe those can be switched on that switch system there, or maybe I need to do something like that, because there are in total 4 wires with that, and there's 4 connectors there. So maybe that might be good for the toilet also, and I've got 2 of those there. Maybe it's a while since I bought them. Maybe that's what I had in mind actually, was these 2 would be used for the water pump and also the toilet. We will give it a go anyway to see what happens. What's the worst that could happen? Blow a fuse probably. Right, okay, that's the update. Go and get yourself a drink, and I'll be back when I've made a little bit more progress. Bye for now. Right, okay, small update. Oh yes, I know where I'm up to. So that, positionally wise, is about where it should be, and I've done that with the heater control there. I've just notched out and I've placed, I've cut, well, I've dismantled the actual connector and I've threaded up a aluminium tube, and it just makes that little bit more, well, A, it's going to stop water, and B, it looks in keeping with the rest of the stainless steel up there, albeit that it's aluminium, because I haven't got a stainless steel one, so I just thought I'll use some of this aluminium tube that I've got here, and that's just worked out quite nicely. I think that aesthetically looks quite good. I could have had it lower, I could have had it right onto the deck and you wouldn't have seen anything, but I just wanted it off the deck, so there we go. I think that looks pretty good. Now, what is next, I ask myself. They're all connected up. I suppose in theory we could test all that out, but oh, I know what I'll do. I'll connect up those cables there, that connector there, because I've got some of this. Where is it? I've got that left, and I think that's enough to go from there to somewhere where I can draw power. So I will connect, I think I will start wiring that up, I think, down there. That's my next job. So, sorry it's a boring one, but we're cancelling them out. Eventually we'll be able to switch them on and see if anything explodes. That'll be exciting, won't it? Certainly get quite a lot of views if this exploded. Right, okay, stay tuned. Bye for now. And a warm welcome and a good morning to you all. Well, it's actually not morning, I've been here morning. I have been here, but I've been working on these wires and I thought you might be bored of it. So basically what I've done is I've got two cables now going to there. Oh, did I say it's Tuesday the 23rd? Maybe I didn't, so I've just mentioned it anyway. That is connected to that. Then we've got some cables that are leading up to here, which needs to be connected. I have put the neutral on, but not the actual live, because the system is empty of water, so we need to definitely fill that up and test it at some point. When, I don't know, because we've still got some open-ended pipes which are over here and over there, so they need to be done. There's a brush just appeared from there. Let's have a look, see who that is. Who is that? Anyway, there is a brush. We don't know who it is just yet, but there we go. So yes, the heater. Can't even speak. Right, I'm gonna have to put you on hold and find out who that is. Bye for now. Right, now that the tomfoolery has gone, yes, where were we? Yes, I know where I was. I was explaining that all the cabling and everything is being done here. That's all been connected up, so that's all good. So now we want to test out the cables, I think. Well, we want to test the switches out, really. So I've temporarily put that on the positive, that on the negative, which leads all the way to everything that I have done. Nothing has gone bang yet. So these are independently switched, so these will already work. We know that, which is good. Yeah, so they're all good. This should light up, and it does. So if we switch, how many have I got? Switch connected. 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So if we put the first 4 on, let's go and have a ganders. In fact, I'll switch you off and then I'll go to the onto the ground floor, and then we'll be able to see the boat in all its glory. I'm hoping they're all on. In fact, I know some of them are on because I can see through that hole there. That one's on, I can see it. Right, that's a good bit. See you in a minute. Well, I can tell you now, we've got success. We've got navigational lights on. We've also got the side lights on. They're good. Even the top light is on. And also we've got move said ladder. We've got that side light on, navigational, spotlight is on, and we've got the side lights on as well. So that I would regard success. In fact, if I shut this door, it might even show it better. Right, move this door. Hey, what's it like with the lights on? Oh, look at that. That looks brilliant. So pleased with that. She's looking good. So look at this side. Oh yeah. Yeah, I'm well happy with that. And originally they are there not for looks, but for actually going down the length of the boat. You can actually see where your footing is. So although they are blue and they are pretty, there's a reason for them being there, which is why I put them in those positions, as you can see along there. So yeah, no, well chuffed with that. The spotlight is giving a good light, considering it's an old bulb. I think that's acceptable. Up top, and the mast light, that seems to be good. I'm very pleased with the navigational lights. They're bright, which is what we want. So all in all, those switches I'd give that a thumbs up. So there we go, let's move on, let's get some more work done. Bye for now. Just a quick update, the heater that is now connected directly to this battery, because it's fused in its own way, so that's all good. So actually, if I just take that off a minute and put that back on, we will see that that should be lit up, and there it is. So that's good to go, and with a remote control you should by rights be able to comfortably hit it from anywhere over here, which is where you'll be normally. So that's all good. So good, everything's good, everything seems to be working like it should. So we can just take those off for now. We know that they are working. I think it's just a case of plodding on and doing a bit more work. I'm just debating actually, is that working? Yes. It's probably going to be a short week this week because I'm going away. I need to go to London. And what day are we on today? Tuesday. Wednesday. I may or may not be able to do any work Wednesday. And I'm thinking, should I get this? It's only literally is going to be a short video, but something's better than nothing. I might just get this on. Not the content's not that good this time, but you know, sometimes this happens. It's one of them. Unless I just carry on and then do it when I get back. I'm talking to myself again, I know. Leave that with me. I'm not so sure yet. And a warm welcome back. It's been a few days, not for you because it's just a flick of the page. However, it is now the 1st of June. No, it's not. It's the 1st of July. July. It is the 1st of July. And we're creeping up to the height of summer. Although we've all had a blast of it, haven't we, over the last few days. Anyway, it has been a few days since I was last here, but we're back. And we're continuing with this episode. Just one question for you before I start telling you what I'm going to do next. Do you prefer little and often when it comes to videos, or do you prefer me to group it all together and do what I do, which is in excess of an hour and a half or whatever it is? I would like to know that question, because you know, sometimes I feel like there's not enough content, so that is the reason why I end up doing over an hour and a half, just to give you more in the way on the video. Or are you quite content in just seeing, I don't know, 20 minutes or whatever? As it goes, I'm not into editing, so don't think for 1 second that I will condense an hour and a half and put it into a 20-minute video, because that will not happen. But what I am saying is, if you want me to just do a video for 20 minutes and then bang it out, no matter how little there's on it, then I will do that. Or alternatively, I will leave it as it is and just bang out, you know, when I think it's getting on too long. So that out of the way, let's continue with what I'm going to do today. And I think I'm having a break from the inside of the boat, and I'm going to concentrate on the cockpit area, and more importantly, this. Now, I've managed to strip off everything that's on it, and as you can see, there is quite a lot of old areas that have been chopped out and all sorts. And I think it's time to restore this carcass back to roughly what I think it used to be, and eliminate quite a lot of these holes. It's quite obvious that these are holes that somebody's done, you know, in an amateurish way. That's fair enough, that's how it is. So I think I'm going to start by plugging all these up, including the ones here, so then I can have a fresh start, and then whatever I choose to put on, I can re-drill and get them to fit. The only one that I cannot for the life of me remember how well the controls used to fit on this side. I'm pretty sure that one or both of these were obsolete, so I'm basically just going to cover everything up, resand it, start afresh, and then cut fresh holes in it once it's all done. So this is going to take me quite a while to do, which is one of the reasons why I mentioned the videos in the first place, because obviously this one's going to stretch out. I can chop some of it out, or what I will do is I will just show you progression as I go along. So yeah, the only thing is that it's going to, you know, we're into 3 weeks since you've last seen a video. It might even get to a month before, you know, you get to see this one. Whether that affects the algorithm or not, I don't know. Should I care about that, being such a small channel? Probably not. So I would like your input, as I always ask for your input. It will be something nice to hear, because at the end of the day, it's you that is watching it. So with that said, I'm going to get myself all dusty. I think I might put her under a cover, because she's definitely going to get dusty, although I might do a bit of sanding outside. That might be good. The neighbours might not be happy, but do you know what? There's a bead factory over there that's constantly making a din. I'm just going to add to it. So that said, welcome back, and England's playing tonight, fingers crossed for them, and I will see you as I progress. So go and get yourself a coffee, and I will be back to you very shortly. Bye for now. Okay, so the first step has been completed, and that is to clean up the surfaces. As you can see, it's looking nice and clean because we've stripped back the top coat, and it's now ready. Well, I think what I might do next is I might just clean up, sand a bit of the back, because there's going to be quite a bit of fiberglassing taking place around these areas here. Well, not necessarily there, but certainly up here. I might even put a sheet of ply over that section, and that'll give me a foundation then to put some ply in here, and then fiberglass in these sections here, and I think that would be okay. It doesn't have to be overly structured because quite a lot of it will be covered anyway with clocks and what have you, but I think it just needs a general clean on the inside, and like I say, just cleaning up those edges. But I'm very pleased with the way it's taking shape. Yes, there's quite a lot of holes to mess about with, but do you know what? It makes a refreshing change doing something outside than it does inside. So I'll quite enjoy doing that. So there we go. That's the first little stage. Oh yes, there was one thing. We did decide, did we not, that we were going to use the original, this one. I think that's the one that we made the decision on. Include yourselves with that. That looks like it's chewed to bits, but that can be changed. But I think these clocks, once they are refurbed, I think it will be good to go. So obviously I'll dismantle all that, but that is going to go somewhere on there. So there's a bit of work to get that to fit. So maybe, just maybe, I won't need to fiberglass this over, because quite a lot of that needs to be made bigger. So there's only really these here, and those that need a bit of attention, because that is going to go there. Right, okay, I've got something to work to, which is the main thing. So there we are, little update for you. I'll start on the back and clean up, and well, I'll be back when I made some more progress. See you very shortly. Right, update for you. So I've filled in these two. Obviously I've got another one. I'm using my bandsaw here and cutting the little shapes out, and then I'm just sort of using that quick glue, my favourite stuff. And I've knocked them just below the surface, so I can then just put a layer of fiberglass over the top of there. I can fiberglass underneath, and then I can run a skim over the top and then get it nice and smooth, and hopefully all the rest of them will go to plan. So that's what I'm currently up to at the moment. Just running out of time to do a bit more, because I'd like to watch the England match if that's possible, but I can resume tomorrow. So there you are, you can see that I've just left that just below the surface, and I'll do the same with that. So all in all, I'm quite happy about that. These are, I'm not so sure about what to do with this. This has clearly been cut after the event, so I think I might fill that in. Could always recut it out if I have to. But I'm sure everything was designed to go through there, as opposed to, well, obviously somebody's installed something, and rather than unbolting this, they've decided to just cut it and do it that way. But I think I'm going to fill it all in. I'm going to fill them all in, and then I can re-drill them if I have to. Right, there you are, little update, and I will see you in the next bit, which will be once I've finished filling all those holes in. bye for now. Right, well, I think the hardest part of this job is now complete, because all the areas that I wanted to plug are now plugged. As you can see, I wasn't too sure whether I should plug that or not, but I think because I can't remember what worked and what holes there were, I thought, do you know what, let's just fill them. So all these here, together with these here, they're all filled just below surface level. These little holes here and here, I think those possibly were factory ones, but I can't be so sure. But they're all filled anyway now. These obviously don't need to be, because they actually are the holes that secure the thing to the bulkhead. There's a little bit of a hole there, but I'm sure I can fill that with some fiberglass anyway. So I think I'm at the stage now where I might offer up this, well, I think I'll dismantle that clock cluster, because we need to establish whereabouts that's going to fit on there. And also I need to sand. Oh, I haven't done those two yet, but you can see at the back there, these are nicely plugged, and I can use my finger file just to smooth them off at the back, and then I can lay some fiberglass over those to make them double, well, they'll be double protected from weather, and also they will be, hopefully stop them from cracking and what have you on the surface. I don't think they will, because they are extremely tight fit, those. So there we go. So what I thought might be a long-winded job actually has turned out okay. It's run very smoothly, so I shall continue with that now, and well, stay tuned until something changes again. Bye for now. Right, so far we've put the first load of fiberglass over the top. We'll sand that back and we'll see how that looks after it's been sanded back. It's only the first coat, so I'm not, you know, I'm not looking for perfection at this stage. I just want to fill and squeeze as much fiberglass into these areas where these wooden circles are, and then once we've got that to something like sound in many respects, then we can then move on to the next stage, which will be probably going on the inside and just reducing the thickness of some of those ones, like that one for example, because the ply that they used together with this material that's on top comes to more than the thickness, is less than the thickness of that I've used. So we'll just trim that back a bit. Not that it's going to make much difference, because as you know, that is going to be a cupboard and nobody's really going to see what's going on in there. But structurally, I don't think it has to be structurally solid, because it's merely a cosmetic situation, this, because, you know, the hole where the clocks are going, etc., is going to be there. You know, there may be the odd one or two things going around here, but it's nothing structural in any way. So I'm sure what I'm doing here, which is no different to doing the boat up here in these areas here where there was stress fractures, I use the same method as on here. I'm sure that's going to be absolutely fine. So I think I might call that an episode for now. simply because I won't be able to do anything tomorrow. I've got to nip out tomorrow somewhere, and it has been a while, but I would be interested to know if you prefer me to, you know, do over an hour and a half or whatever it is, or keep it down to a minimum. I've no idea how long this one's going to be. I don't think it's as long as the others, and nor do I think it's as interesting as the other ones, this one. But you know, sometimes this is the situation you get when you're doing a boat. It's not all interesting, as the case may be. Anyway, I'm waffling on. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you for subscribing and hitting the like button, and also commenting as well. I do read everyone. Not that there is very many, but you know who you are. So until next time, which will be a continuation of that thing over there, I'll see you later, and bye for now.